For me, this is the crux of the matter. Because once you can't believe in a man's integrity, you must create an alternative. Believers create alternatives because they don't know about the integrity of God's word. So when they pray and they say delay, they look for a substitute. Because they can't rely on a God whose integrity they do not know. Are you understanding? Years ago, a brother in this church went to a bank somewhere on the road here and asked them for a loan. And they asked him, what collateral do you have for your loan? He said, I'm sorry, I'm just starting life. I don't even have a collateral, but I will pay. They said, no, we don't give loans like that. They said, so is there any important person you know in this town? He said, my pastor. Who is your pastor? Dr. Abel Damina. Are you sure he's your pastor? Yes. Are you sure he's your pastor? Does he know you personally? He said, yes. Okay. Do you have his number? He said, yes. So let's have his number. The bank manager called my number, and I answered. He said, Dr. Damina, how are you, sir? I said, oh, I'm blessed. How are you doing? Who am I speaking to? The bank manager of so and so bank. Oh, bless you. He said, one of your sons is here. He came to ask for loan, and we have asked him which important person he knows in town that we can talk to that can vouch for him. And he called your name. Sir, do you know him? I said, yes, I know him. Should we give him the money? I said, give him. He doesn't pay. Come and ask me. They gave him the money. They just gave him no collateral, no signing. They just gave him the money and used my word to hold the money. And good enough, he was a good boy. Within time, he got their money, went and gave them back. That opened for him a credit line. So now he could go without me answering the bank and they will give him money. That's how he built up his business. Just by keeping to his words and just by getting my integrity and credibility to back his request. So based on my integrity, they gave him money. Now, if I didn't have integrity, the bank will have said, no, we don't trust him. Look for something else. Now, so they could give him money without house collateral, without anything, just my words. My words were as good as any collateral that could be given to the bank. Now, what we're saying is, when you understand that God's word is as good as God, when you read by his stripes I was healed, it doesn't matter how sick you are, you stand up and walk away. Because you know that God's word is as good as God. How many of you understand what I'm talking about? That's what we mean by the integrity of God. What we mean by the integrity of God is what makes God's word reliable. Why should you trust God? Why should you trust his word? That's what we are tracing. That's why there's a lot of calculation. Did you see the way we are moving around? Because we are figuring out what gives God's word that credibility that you can rely on. And we have said what gives God's credibility is what? Is Christ. Christ, I'm being in a hurry now. Christ is the integrity of God's word. Whatever is not Christ is not God. Christ is the express revelation of God to man. So Christ is everything about God.